21st, 2019 at 10 a.m. Let's stand for the pledge. Daryl, will you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members present are Daryl Baker, Phoebe Harless, Charles Vance, and Josh Stowers is participating on the phone. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the public hearing that we had on November 7th, 2019 at 5 p.m. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the public hearing?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. The next item is to approve the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission that was also held on November 7th at 6 p.m. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor, aye. Motion
Aye.
carries. Okay, under public comment, we have Doris Sharp here with the Solid Waste Authority. That's,
Yeah, well, it's that time of year. We went to the 2019 West Virginia Educational Conference at Canaan Valley on October the 20th and the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We had a lot of interesting speakers. One in particular was from Mondo, M-O-N-D-O Plastics. I think you're going to hear a lot about this guy. He's from Marietta, Ohio. He recycles tires. What they do is they melt the tires down and they make big rubber blocks about the size of a loaf of bread. Okay, if you look at it on the highway at the guardrail, between the guardrail and the little brace that comes behind it, it's between it. And if you've ever seen those, they've just recently started putting them up in the last couple of years. He says he's making thousands of these a day. He said, go ahead and hit that guardrail. It's just business for me. So they're spreading it out all over, and he said at some point they will expand what they take. Right now, you know, maybe those are useful tires, you know, that we collect every year. We also had a visit from Ken Miller from the Boy Scout camp, and he was telling us about the camp up there at wherever it is. I had it written down, but anyway, yeah, Bechtel Camp, and he invited all of us to come up there. He said, come up anytime, take a tour. He said, we love to have visitors. So that was nice. And on the guest, last but not least, we had a guest visitor at our Monday lunch. And he talked about not having any service on his cell phone. He was driving through the mountains and was talking about how beautiful the mountains were with all the orange and the red and the yellow leaves. And he said, why doesn't anybody like West Virginia? He said, I was surprised when I'm coming through the mountains, I have no cell service. And I looked up and I said, welcome to our world. It was Jim Justice. So he sees how our self-service is, you know. He was surprised, you know, that he came all the way up to the Canaan Valley to talk at lunch. Of course, he had other business things to deal with in the area, but that's all right, you know. But he was just absolutely amazed. He had no cell service. I said, well, welcome to our world. That's all the time at our place. So anyway.
I believe that was the first time we've had a governor actually come to the conference.
Yeah, we had one, they had said Governor Manchin was going to be there, and it wasn't the Governor Manchin, it was like his brother or something, that other mansion that is popular around the state. He popped in and had a tomato talk about it. I thought it was Governor Manchin. Well, this is a mansion. I said, not the mansion you mentioned on the paperwork, you know. Okay, for the Solid Waste Authority, we now have 3 recycle containers. One here at the courthouse, one at the McCorkle Community Center, and the last one was put in at West Hamlin Elementary School. The bins take paper, shredded paper, and plastics number 1 and 2. As of now, we don't take any cardboard, but they were supposed to start taking that in October, but they said it's coming real soon. And I guess they'll probably, I don't know if it'll be in the bin or not, but they'll start taking that down at Slack Street. Also, no plastic bags are allowed in these bins unless you have your shredded paper in the plastic bag. And they said, we want it in a bag because it's not a fun sight to see them empty that bag out there with the wind blowing 90 miles an hour. I've seen that happen down Slack Street. And also no household garbage. Maureen told me the other day that her husband went over, and I think it was this one out here at the courthouse, he pulled out 2 great big huge leaf bags full of garbage.
And we keep it locked,
I'm sorry?
we keep it locked to try
Yeah.
to keep that down, but
Right, well, somehow or another, they got it in there, you know. But they had a problem with the papers getting wet. But Howland figured out that there's dividers between the thing. And I guess the bin sits on an angle, and the paper was here, and if it rains, it goes down this way. So he says, well, just reverse it. So I guess they're gonna try to reverse it.
Yeah, I think we got them set up wrong. We got the plastics at the front end and the paper at the back end. Well, when the guy comes to get the bin, he lifts that front end up. Well, if there was a broken water bottle in there, all that water is going to the back. So we're in the process of trying to get them reversed. We're gonna put the paper up the other end, the plastic bottles at the back.
Maureen will be,
How are they going over at McCorkle and West Hamlin? Are people using them and stuff?
well,
They're starting to use McCorkle a little bit more now.
but they have limited hours at McCorkle. We have someone that has a key to unlock them while there's somebody there at McCorkle. But he goes over there and checks them all the time, so he keeps Maureen updated on how full they are and all that.
Yeah, I think they had some problems over there with people putting trash in.
Yeah.
like you said.
Well, they're hoping, this was supposed to be, you know, and I've reported before, we got the $60,000 grant. We get it every year for like, what, 3 or 4 years. And they're hoping that this will make people aware of the recycle thing. Now, we have one lady that she calls me and she calls Maureen. I'm sure y'all probably know her. Her last name's Tackett. Man, you pick up that phone and her mouth is going like this. You know, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And all this other stuff. You probably know her. I mean, you know, 90 miles an hour. And I told her, I said, look, I said, the information was in the newspaper. Well, I don't take the paper. Sean, you need to get on her.
That's all right.
And I said, well, it's on Facebook. I don't do Facebook. I said, well, I don't know how you're supposed to know we have these things unless, you know, with social media. But we also just got a grant that we have been awarded the money for an e-cycle event, which will be held in the spring for electronics. So that will be coming up soon. And I've come bearing a gift.
Does the school recycle, especially like at West Hamlin, since it's over there? Do they put paper and stuff in it?
I don't know. They do.
Oh, that's nice.
They
Thank
just,
you.
they just placed that bin there this last week, I
I was
believe.
gonna say, yeah, I didn't even know it was there yet,
There's
so
some your name on it.
I'll help push it out.
Which
This
one?
is yours, this one, yours has got your
Oh,
name
I'm
on
sorry.
it. That's all right.
I lost one.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Now I know
Doris.
what- okay. I got you one.
Did you?
and
Well, thank you.
I bought one for Josh, but since it's got my name on it. Let's see if one of these has got a name on it. Oh, that's got his name. Now see, I'll bring one back over for Josh.
Okay.
Drop it off here. If you use one of those magic markers, it'll come out on here real good. That's what I did. I picked that up out of the stocking, I'm sorry.
You
you
want
know.
one of those back, Sean?
No, I'm okay.
I'll bring you one.
You're okay. Thank you.
But I got 2 here with my name on it, so, but anyway, the conference was really interesting. We enjoyed it, and I appreciate your supporting me and to help me, you know, be on that board. I was trying to think the other day, I think y'all have backed me now for what, about 10 years, I think, about 8 or 10 years now I've represented the commission, and it's been my pleasure to do so. And I don't plan on quitting anyway soon. So, but anyway, it's, like I say, and we've been lucky. For the last couple of years, y'all haven't had to pay anything for me. One year I won a free trip up there, and the last 2 years, I think, Maureen's had enough money to, the Solid Waste Management Board has issued enough money and a grant for all of us to go on the trip. So, and we really enjoyed it. We learned a lot and made, you know, interesting people. It's a little getaway for us.
I'm glad you got to go, and thank you for all you all do, and for coming and updating us, and the back. Okay, Mr. Sharp was the only body that we had signed in to speak, so we'll move on to the next item, which is discussion of concerns and possible action. And this is a resolution in support of protecting and preserving the pensions of healthcare for UMWA plan beneficiaries, and it is attached. So I guess, we need a motion for us to sign that. Do I have a motion
I'll
to?
make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, so we have just a few things under new business. Do you all have any questions about it? Okay, if not, then do I have a motion to approve the new business as is listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second
Okay, I
that.
have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anybody have anything they would like to add before we adjourn? Okay, if nothing else, then I need a motion to adjourn until our next regular session meeting, which will be on Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m.
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye.
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 Okay, motion carries, so we'll stand adjourned until Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m.